Hello everyone, this is the first video on Jotto HearthStone. This is the HearthStone Weekly, talking about the top decks, talking about the top cards. Everyone wants to hear about it. Let's get started, shall we? In this rendition of the Hearthstone Weekly, I'll be talking about the top 4 decks of the first ever Bubble Hearth tournament, whose TeamSpeak channel you should now go check out. I will put the description in the doobly-doo. Now, the top 4 neutral cards, that's also a very interesting topic. I will be going over the sleeper pick of the week as well. I'll be going over top 5 cards that have been played and tested and all this cool stuff, and there's cool stuff everywhere, and it's just going to be awesome. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So, Saturday's tournament, first place, Druid Synergies by Dorox. Ridiculous deck. Completely flattened everyone for 4 hours. Just synergies everywhere, gonna be talking about them because everyone wants to know about it. Second place, Druid Midrange. This is a more sort of beat down deck, and then you smash people's faces in with it. It was piloted by Jane. He did a really good job. Third place, Force Ends deck. Hunter Beast aggro, kill you in 3 turns. If you want to kill someone in 3 turns, play that deck. Fourth place, Shaman Persist. Just keep stacking up the board, stacking up, and then kill you with Bloodlust. Yeah. Okay, next. Now, first place was the Druid Synergies deck. This was completely insane. It was the craziest deck I've seen in a while. You got the Knife Jugglers, it's the Imp Master and the Violet Teachers to get all the synergy between Knife Jugglers and the spawning creatures, and then you just put all the spells in there, and it's like a giant mashing machine of awesome. You put Force of Nature and Savage Roar in there, the stupid frigging combo that just kills everyone. Innervate and Cenarius, 2 of the most played decks. Like, it's Innervate 4 plus Cenarius. The reason for that is because you literally are innovating for a turn 6 Cenarius, or like a turn 5 Ancient of Lore, or a turn 1 Imp Master. That card is stupid, and everyone should play it in their Druid decks. Enough said. Swipe and Starfall, standard board clear. Everyone loves board clear. Let's be honest here. Everyone who isn't playing aggro loves board clear. Wrath, Novice Engineer, you got to do the cycling cards, and you got to get on that bicycle and keep going until the end. Ironbeak Owl and Keeper of the Grove. Do I need to say anything about these cards? They silence stuff, they get rid of Twilight Drake, they ping stuff, they give you value, they give you a creature with it, it's awesome. Oh, by the way, did I mention that this deck managed to go through the entire winners bracket without losing a single game? Until Druid Midrange, the beat your face in deck. Swipe, Starfall, Savagery, the board clears everywhere in this deck. You got the claws and the bites and the buff Savagery, and you board wipe, and then you do like 20 damage, and it's amazing. You just like kill people. It's so awesome. Cenarius, Ancient of Lore, Druid Claw, you got the beat downs, and you got to throw stuff at them. There's also Ancient of War, which is awesome, and then you just like, yeah, oh my god, it's the huge mana curve. Huge mana curves with the innervates and things like that. You get the massive mana curves into big board presence. You get the beatdown, the defense, it's awesome. Novice Engineer and Wrath, cycling cards. If you're not on the bicycle already, get on it. Ironbeak Owl, Keeper of the Grove, same reasons. Yeah, it's good cards. It's good cards, what can I say? Only deck to take a game off first place. Yes, that is in fact true. In the finals, there was double Elium. The Druid Midrange managed to take a series off Druid Synergies and then proceeded to get completely crushed in the second half. Third place, shall we? So we go into third place, Hunter Beast aggro, Force Ends deck. You got the Buzzard that draw you cards, and they cycle cards with beasts, and then you got Scavenging Hyena for when they leave the battlefield. You get all the crazy triggers and everything, it's amazing. And then you have Timberwolves and Direwolves, buff the weak beasts, you end up with some crazy large stuff for 1. And you get Snake Traps, which procs your Buzzard, and it protects everything else, and it's amazing. And then you get Explosive Traps to counter Force of Nature. Yes, that card is that good. Ironbeak Owl for the sounds, it's also a beast. Yay. Bestial Wrath to finish stuff off, the immunity, like seriously guys, and Flare, best cycle card in the game. Like, Tundra Kodo, you get everything gets charged. Unleash the Beasts, everything gets charged in +1? For 1. Yeah. Fourth place, my deck in fact. And Shaman Persist, Direwolf Alpha, Flame Tongue Totem to buff all the small stuff. The Abusive Sergeant and the Elven Archer, stable 1-drops, buff things. Novice Engineer and Loot Hoarder for the cycling cards. You're noticing a theme here. Ironbeak and Earthshock for silence. Hex for big stuff. Enough said. Harvest Golem, Spirit Wolves, they have to remove them for crying out loud. And the turn 5 to 7 Bloodlust for 20 to 30 damage. Yeah. So, that's the tournament decks done. Should we go into the top 5 neutral cards? Okay, top 5 neutral cards. We got the Ironbeak Owl, Novice Engineer, Molten Giant, Knife Juggler, and Mana Addict as my sleeper pick of the week. So, first one's first. Ironbeak Owl. This card is insane. Like, it plays around Taunt. Or actually no, more accurately, you don't have to play around Taunt. It just gets rid of it. It plays around Twilight Drake. It gets around all the abilities. It kills most legendaries. Nat Pagel is now useless. It's amazing. It single-handedly made the largest 4-drop in the game in Twilight Drake useless. It's also easy to curve at 2 mana cost, and it's a 2-1 for 2. That's really relevant. It's also a beast. I know I mentioned that, but you just gotta let that sink in. It's a beast. And it's just amazing. Like, if you're not playing these things in your deck, you're doing something wrong. Just try it. If you're skeptical, play test it. Just try it. You need to. This card is amazing. So, next one. Novice Engineer. Cycling cards. Yeah. A lot of bikes were sold in that tournament. It's like cycling cards all day long, and it's guaranteed, and it's a body on the field. It's a 1-2, so it doesn't trade with 1-drops, it just kills them. And yeah. And you can use it late game. Top deck it, play it, draw another card. If it's another one, play it again. You got 3 cards for 1. That's awesome. Yep. It also can't be silenced. That's a major thing, if you noticed, with the Ironbeak Owl. It can't be silenced because it's not Death Rattle. It's freaking Battle Cry. And yes, there are people using Youthful Brewmaster with this card to draw through their entire deck. Just saying. And then you go into Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler is awesome. It procs off anything that enters the battlefield. It's amazing. It just has awesome synergy with lots and lots of cards, including MVP of Tournament, Force of Nature. It's a 2-3, survives pretty much every single 2-drop in the game, apart from apart from very specific cases, it survives. And it survives Holy Smite and Arcane Shot, that's also kind of major. It also forces a silence or some kind of removal. Few cards do that, by the way. Like, forcing a silence is a big thing, since you only have 2 Ironbeaks in every deck. It can be used in a lot of different types of decks. Like, not so much control anymore, but still people play it in control. They play it in combo. I mean, the infinite combo is a Knife Juggler combo. And Summoning Portal with Useful Brewmaster. Yeah, you also get the almost infinite combo with Knife Juggler, and it's awesome. And then aggro, you're just swarming the board. Why not get 1 damage off every single one? Yep. Molten Giant, the most ridiculous 2-drop in the game. He's like, wait a second, that card costs 20 mana. No, it doesn't. It never costs 20 mana. Literally, you can't play it at 20 mana. It costs 1 less for every health missing. So late game, it costs nothing, basically. And you get the Warsong Commanders. So 20 damage in 1 turn for 3 mana. And then if you add on the Manipulator, you end up with 30 damage in 1 turn for 7. Yep. 30 damage in 1 turn for 7. I'm okay with this. And then you can also clone it and control it, and it just has so much board presence. So much board presence. It's so much value out of 2 mana, or 3 mana, or like 0 mana, depending on how far behind you are. This is one of the only cards in the entire game which actually helps you being behind or hurting yourself. So Warlocks have been having a lot of fun with this card. Mana Addict. This is my sleeper pick of the week. Sleeper pick. It does huge burst damage in rogue decks and warrior decks. I mean, seriously. You got the charge, and then you get all the spells. Or you just conceal it, and then you burst down all the 0 cost, and then you prep, and then you... Like, head crack? Seriously? It goes back to your hand? I can cycle things with my Mana Addict? Yes, please. It's just the cornerstone of most spell-based decks because it's like a win condition on a 2-drop. That's amazing. But, yeah, now I'm going to play devil's advocate here. It's vulnerable to Iron Beak, let's be honest here. I mean, like, Iron Beak's played in almost every single deck. It's no big deal. I mean, it's not like it's going to get silenced in time. Yeah, that's why it's so good in Rogue and Warrior, because you get a charge that can't be silenced, or you just conceal it and laugh at them. But yeah, it is incredibly vulnerable to Taunt, because you get your one big attack, and that's it. You get your one big attack, and you put your entire hand into it, and then you realize you haven't got direct removal, so you actually can't kill the stupid Sentient Shield monster on their field. We've all been there. It has some very strange interactions with Mirror Entity, by the way. Have you ever noticed that when you attack, it actually doesn't count as a buff? So you're like, you pump this thing up to like 23, and then you Mirror Entity it, and you're like, wait a second, is that a 1-3 or a 23? I'm gonna have to ask Blizzard on that. Yeah, put one of those like clarification posts with one of those like neon signs on it. Yeah. Someone has any idea how that works? Post it, because yeah, I'm interested in how that works. But yeah, that's the Hearthstone weekly show number 1. First one's always the hardest. This week we're gonna have a 30-man tournament. I'm gonna do top 8 decks. I'm gonna try and get like the first place guy in, or someone from the top 8 in general. It's gonna be awesome. You should totally check out the streams, by the way, for that tournament. The main one being Easy Mode, who is the main admin, and a really awesome guy in general. Yeah, you should check him out. He's going to be streaming the finals. He's going to be streaming the whole tournament, basically, from his perspective. And I'll link all the stuff you need to see with Bubble Hearth in the description. There's a forum post about it. Go check. That's pretty much it. If you have any advice or anything to recommend from what I should put in this, then put it in the description. Otherwise, this is Jotto, signing off from the first ever show.